And now let's deep dive more into the moment of the truth, the three challenges that our teams will need to face in this Citython. First challenge is green connection. Second, green ring road in the city. And third one is from door to door. Who will be the person in charge of presenting these challenges? It will be Marius Sagan. Marius is the director of the Strategy and Entrepreneurship Department at the Lublin municipality. He holds a PhD in this area and he is lecturer at the Strategic Management Department of the Collegium of Business Administration of Warsaw Schools of Economics. Especially relevant today, he is the co-creator of the strategy Lublin 2020, setting out the directions for the development of the most important city in Eastern Poland. Marius, welcome, the floor is yours.
Morning, thank you for this nice introduction. Before we start describing the challenges of the Citython this year, I would like to say a few words about the city. So I don't know if I will be able to present it via the presentation by myself or by you, Isabel. Shall I do it by my own or?
I think that Evelina is
you can share your screen.
Slides.
Yeah, you can share your screen, Marius.
Just give me a few seconds.
Or if it's easier for you, or I can share your
maybe it will be easier.
Yeah. Okay.
For me, because I don't have the full functionality of the Zoom at this moment. So yeah, thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe we will skip this slide. And first of all, I would like to say hello to all participants from the Mayor of Lublin, Mr. Krzysztof Żuk. And I will give you just a brief summary of the city that is in a, I think, very specific moment of its history at now. Isabel mentioned that I was responsible for the 2020 strategy together with my colleague Marcin Skrzypek, who is present at this conference. But we are also preparing a new strategy, which is Strategy Lublin 2030. And this is, I would say, the crucial step for the future development of the city. So why it's so important, I will tell you in a minute. But we have to decide how to develop in a smart way, in a sustainable way, and how can we catch up and adjust to the cities that are in the Western Europe, but we have to do it on our own way. So a lot of challenges, a lot of problems related to the strategy. And I hope that this Citython will help us to answer some of the questions that we still don't know the answer. These are challenges, but not only challenges. We are also open for the inspiration that what we can get from our participants, from the companies, people that will be participating in the Citython. But when we look at Lublin today, Lublin is the biggest city in Eastern Poland, sometimes so-called the capital of Eastern Poland, with about 500,000 of inhabitants in the metropolitan area. So Lublin is a middle-sized European metropolis, I would say metropolis under the process of creation. So this is the first thing. The second thing, Lublin is interesting city in terms of the development, because the real processes of the city change started only 10 years ago. Before, Lublin was suffering numerous problems, challenges related to the transformation of Polish economy and Polish cities from the, let's say, socialist and communist system to the more liberal economy and European standards. So we are under the constant growth since 2015, 2016. Today we are one of the fastest developing cities in Poland, but we are trying to keep the balance between the economic development and the environment. And we see that the fast growth of the city is making a serious impact on our environment. It also is affecting the mobility in the city, the mobility mix actually. It's affecting practically every aspect of the city life. So what is Lublin renowned for? First of all, I would say this is the academic city with the very high population of students and the most internationalized Polish city in terms of the foreign students. Lublin is also renowned for being one of the most known Polish startup hubs. I think we are number 3 or number 4 in Poland in terms of the startup. We have about 450 startups in the city at this moment. So there is a strong innovation potential that we want to develop in the next years. Lublin is a city which may some people not agree with. In many rankings, Lublin is still presented as the city, as a green city. Even the last, I think, couple of months, we won the title of the greenest city in Poland. So we want to keep these assets, we want to develop, we want to find new solutions to still be on this sustainable path of growth of Lublin. Okay, could we go to the next slide, please? And one of the dimensions that we are particularly proud of is the participation as a way of the city management, of the engaging people, of the way of the creating people's love to the city and people that are becoming the city ambassadors. Today we are at the end of the process of building participatory intelligence strategy Lublin 2030. And we are working on this strategy for about 2.5 years. The concept of this strategy is really participatory and is based on the multi-stage process. Many stakeholders, participants were taking part. And using this expertise, using this knowledge of our citizens, of our experts, of our universities, startups, business, we are at this stage designing the strategy for the city of the future. So this is the ultimate goal now. And this goal is related to the Citython challenges. Please go to the next slide. When we summarize the participation and research activities, I'm not gonna go into the details of that, but together we have gathered close to 14,000 opinions of citizens, which is a lot, which is more than 6% of the total population. And we hope to achieve another several thousands of opinions during the process of public consultations. So hopefully at the end of this process, at the end of the day, we will have 10% of the city citizens, maybe not 10, but 8% that will be involved in the process of building city strategy. We have a quite nice experience from the previous strategy, and we saw that the higher engagement of the citizens, the city is more active. The people are trying to help the city in many ways, in many areas. So we are trying to inspire people to help the city via the process of the public consultations, and then use, maybe this is not a good word, use the people as city ambassadors, as executors of the city strategy. And that was working for the last 10 days, and we hope that it will be working for the next 10 days to the end of this 2030 decade. Please go to the next slide. And of course, we as a city we face a lot of challenges, not only related to the Citython edition, but we face the challenges related to the mobility, to the intelligent, smart economic development. We see the demographical problems, the problems with the integration of foreigners, of migrants. So there are a bunch of problems that we have to face in the next strategic period. But when we move to this very concrete area of Citython, we together, or rather I should say that citizens saw the three main challenges, and they articulate these challenges when the citizens were telling us about the city future, when they were participating in the public consultations, during the conversation talks, and they told us these are important aspects of the future of the city, and we want the city to change this approach. I want the city to solve these problems. So the inspirations came from the citizens, but of course the experts and the university professors, they help us to develop this concept and formulate challenges. So as Jezabel said, we have three challenges. One is green connection, the second challenge is green ring road, and challenge number 3 is from door to door, related to the transport solutions, public transport solutions. So let's move to the challenges, and I will just give you a very brief description of them. First challenge, green connection. This concept is being discussed among the specialists for many years. And the concept is, in general, in Lublin, we have a lot of green areas, parks, valleys, and we want to connect them to create coherent natural system that will enable people to move from the one part of the city to another, using only green areas, corridors. So this is the general idea of the concept. And because of the fact that we have unique terrain, river valleys, dry valleys, etc., we want to connect these valleys and create the system that will be connecting all parts of the city for the recreational and for other purposes. Also for the purpose to commute to work by bike or by the electric bike, or by feet, by walk. So this is the first challenge, the green collection challenge. The second challenge is the green ring road challenge. So we as a city would like to design a green bypass to connect pedestrian and cycling infrastructure, and of course the concept that will be consistent with the urban green area. So again, we want to connect this bypass with the corridors to enable citizens to approach to every part of the city green ecosystem, but also not only to the green ecosystem, but also to the old town, to the industrial zones, everywhere. So this is challenge number 2. And the third challenge is to from door to door, is to design the transport interchange points and create more smart multimodal transport hub. The problem in Lublin is that because of the terrain, because of the hilly character of the city, and because of the historical urban reasons, the transport, the bus, the trolleybus roads are not straight. Maybe I will use that expression for that. So to connect from one part of the city, from the south to the north, you have to use the bus road or trolleybus road that is really going like that. So it's, as we say in Lublin, the passengers are visiting the city, and it takes a lot of time to move from the point A to point B. So what do we need is to create a new system of the bus routes and the trolleybus routes that will enable people to connect in some places to shorten the journey from the work to home, or from home to work, or from home to the old town, or for other purposes. So this is the challenge number 3, and we have to designate these transport interchange points. Okay, so we can move to the next slide, which is the last slide. We really hope that these solutions will be implemented in the city sectoral policies in the next decade. And the city approach is that we want to use the citizens' expertise. We want to also use the external expertise to create the strategies, to create the solutions that will be implemented in Lublin for the next 3-5 years and for the next decade. Thank you so much for this short presentation. You have my contact here on the slide. Thank you so much, and good luck. Good luck. These are the words to our participants of this competition.
Thanks a lot, Marius, for presenting the challenges and for letting us deep dive more into them, so our teams can start to get ready for them. And now is the time for questions. Any question to our 3 speakers so far, Trajan, Marius, and Elisa? I'm checking quickly in the chat. It seems I don't see any question. Evelina, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, I see Christoph Kowalik says he has a question, or that we have questions. I'm not sure. Okay, he's saying in the chat, green ring or green network.
Am I heard? Is it okay? Am I heard?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Okay. So can I start? Introduction. I can't hear you.
Yes, Abel, you have to unmute.
I'm okay. May I start?
Well, Marcin, I think that you're a little bit ahead of the schedule. Now
Okay.
we are covering the questions
Okay,
from
okay,
the previous speakers. So your turn will be after the coffee break, which we are almost ready to go. But just now we were trying to cover if there were any question to our previous speakers. And the question raised by Christoph Kowalik was green ring or green network. Who takes this question?
Maybe I will take this question from the Lublin side. This is a really good question, because when we see the challenges, the challenge 1 is actually is a green connection network. So we want to create a green network in the whole city of Lublin. So it's for sure it's a green network. Yeah, challenge. When we look at the challenge 2, maybe I have to describe the challenge, because there are some misunderstandings. I think the misunderstanding is in the name of in the title of this challenge. Actually, it's not the bypass, because the word bypass means that it's a ring. Yeah, so sometimes we may understand bypass as a ring. No, we are not talking about the ring. We are talking about the connecting main areas of Lublin, main districts of Lublin via well, the bypass, which is maybe not a correct word, but via the green corridor. And this green corridor, today we may say that we have a green corridor in the Bystrzyca Valley. So this is the example how we see the problem in the challenge 3. So we want to design such kind of corridor that will be linking the main districts of the city. But for sure, this is not a ring road. No, that will be connecting the 2-3 main city zones that of course we have to define and we have to work on that. So in the challenge 1, green network fully covering the city. In the challenge 2, the green road, green corridor that will be linking, let's say, south with the north or west with the east. So this is my explanation for the question.
Okay, thanks, Marius. I don't know if is there any more questions in the room, or we can just move ahead to grab a coffee or a cup of tea. No more questions? Okay, I'm checking the chat. It seems we didn't have more questions. Okay, we had no, we just had a comment, an add-in from Evelina. So if no more questions, we can move ahead. We have a few minutes to grab a coffee, cup of tea, stretch legs and muscles, and we come back. Not before saying a huge thank you to our 3 speakers so far, Marius, Trajan, and Elisa. Thanks a lot for joining us today. Reminder, you didn't register yet. You have here the QR code on the screen. Scan it, learn more about the 3 challenges, the process on how to take them, and we will tell the names very soon of the teams